gentlemen, welcome to the Sean and Sax Show. We're not sponsored by Bang, and we're not sponsored by Monster, but we drink them.
We should be.
Somebody call Bang and somebody call Monster.
We haven't done a show in a while.
We need a deal. Huh?
We haven't done a show in a while.
Yeah. So, guys, welcome to the Sean and Sax Show. We have a table now. If you're watching this, Sax decided to change everything up.
Sean's very happy about it.
So we changed it up, and we're going to see how this goes. I really enjoyed the couch. The couch was great. Are we good? Okay, so we wanted to talk about something specific today. We are very, very open. You're good, man, as long as we're rolling. We've got new things we're testing here, so forgive us for little interruptions. But we're very open with our relationship, with our lives, with our...
we don't have an open relationship, but we're open with our relationship.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, we don't do that shit. We don't have an open relationship, but we're very open in our relationship. Well, we're just open people. We're very open. Fuck, I don't know how to fucking say it. Like, what? Help me out here if I'm saying it the wrong way. Yeah. We're all in. We're very transparent. We're very, very, very transparent. It's just how we are, and it's how we've always been. And we're both there. We don't have a problem talking about our life. We don't have a problem talking about our fears. We don't have a problem talking about our issues and our problems and all of these other things. We don't have an issue talking about sex. We don't have an issue talking about intimacy. And I love it that way. Honestly, I love it. Like I'm more, we talked about this the other day. I'm more open and more vulnerable and more transparent today than I think I've ever been in my entire life. I don't know. Would you say the same thing? Do you feel the same way?
Definitely.
For you?
Absolutely.
It's cool, man. It's a really cool place to be because there's a lot of people that are just they're stuck. A lot of people don't know what to share. They don't know how to share. They don't know, like, should I share this but not share this? If I share stuff about my sex life, this thing will happen, or that my church people will see it, or if I swear, then my mom will get mad. And it's like we live in this day and age where social media is a radically powerful, amazing, brilliant tool that a lot of people haven't quite figured out yet. And I figured out a long time ago that the more open and raw and vulnerable I am, the more people want to engage with me, and the more people want to engage with me, the more my businesses grow, the more money we make. So it's kind of this really cool thing. But it's also the flip side. It is very, very, very intimidating. It's very, very vulnerable to talk about certain things because you open yourself up to criticism. Yeah. You open yourself up to shit talkers. You open yourself up to radically insecure people that just want to lambaste you. You open yourself up, especially with us being as sexual and sensual as we are, being open about talking about it. And again, I'm using the word open. Don't misconstrue anything. We're very, very, very monogamous. We're very good. We don't do that shit. But the more the more we do this together as a couple, the more interesting it gets for me. And we've talked about this quite a few times. And if you've listened to us for a while, you'll know that we don't have any real filter. And it's becoming really interesting to me because it's exposing a lot of things. Like, when you put something out into the marketplace, you're going to get feedback. And to me, what comments are, doesn't matter whether it's a troll, doesn't matter whether it's a fan, doesn't matter if it's somebody cool. It's all feedback, right? Yeah. And so guys, understand for a second, like if you're putting something out in the marketplace and you're getting messages from people or comments from going, thank you, you helped me. I mean, you genuinely are helping people. You know what I mean? Like if you put things out in the marketplace, people are like, oh, this offends me or this, that, or the other. Really all we're doing is just radically opening up our lives, putting it in this vehicle called social media. Number one, because it's great marketing. Number two, because it's actually a very, very, very therapeutic thing for us, for me especially.
I think it is for most people.
I think it is for most people, but there's a fine line of people that are either going to sit on that fence or go all in. We're all in. Would you agree?
Definitely.
Okay. I share that. Did I miss anything in that? Like just kind of why and how?
No, and I think originally you and I were both that way before we were together. So that was part of the attraction to each other, is that we had a level of vulnerability and transparency and authenticity that we recognized in each other.
Yeah.
And together, we just have continued being that way.
I think we've amplified it for each other too. I think that the more,
pardon my sniffles,
the more we get into the game, like the more we involve ourselves, the more we open ourselves up. It's almost like it's an irreversible course. You can't go back.
Right.
But I've found that in you being more open, it allows me to be more open and vice versa. Like there's just this really cool experience of leveling up, and opening up more doors and getting deeper and deeper and deeper. Yeah. And we brought this up for a reason because we wanted to talk about something. We've wanted to talk about this for the last 2 weeks. We recently did a photo shoot. Now, on date night, we do date night every Wednesday night. So if you know us, you know that doesn't matter what's going on, doesn't matter the deal. Like it is basically a standing thing every Wednesday night is date night.
90% of the time it's on a Wednesday.
99% of the time.
But it's every week, no matter what.
We have a date. We do date night every single week. It's non-negotiable for us, and it's very important, and it's obviously a very foundational part of our marriage. Yeah. And some date nights are literally we go to dinner, we come home, and we watch a movie. Some date nights are super freaking chill where we get takeout and we literally just lay on the couch and fall asleep together. And so we do some bougie shit and we do some really, really just basic, simple, easy
I like simple
stuff.
I like bougie.
We both do.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear that? I like simple.
I like bougie.
Comma, I like bougie. Those weren't two sentences. That was one sentence.
I'm well-rounded.
I like simple. I like bougie. So if you wonder why I go mad sometimes and you wonder why, I feel like I'm, anyways.
We should have like a scale. 1 to 10 Sax. How bougie would you like to be this week?
That actually is a great idea.
I know. Oh, definitely only a 2.
Then I'll know. Because some date nights, like, you're just dolled the fuck up. You're sending me pictures all day long. Yeah. You're like, we're going to do this tonight. And then some date nights, you're just in fucking gym gear and we're like, done. We just
exhausted.
Chill. Which we're cool with that. Like, listen. For sure. The moral of the story.
Sometimes we just go to the gym.
Yeah, sometimes you go to the gym for date night. Like the moral of the story is like date night is very, very important. Yeah. Okay. But every now and again we do something cool. Every now and again we do something kind of out of the ordinary. And my good friend Rob is a photographer. And we've been talking to Rob for months, probably like 2 or 3 months, because we wanted to do
probably
and will do, we probably will do, we will this really cool we want to do like this Viking photo shoot.
We've bought all of the
We bought all the shit.
It's going to happen.
We have so much rad
Rob,
Viking
please
shit.
stay on us, please.
Yeah, but we haven't done the Viking thing yet. But with the podcast kind of growing and our plans for 2023, I thought it would be cool for us to get. We haven't done like a photo shoot outside of like our marriage or marriage or like before, where it was just us. And we had some cool ideas. Like we wanted to do some sexy stuff. We wanted to do this. We wanted to do that. So we called my friend Rob. So Rob, let's do a photo shoot. He said, awesome. He blocks off a couple of hours.
And he's like the creme de la creme.
He's awesome. I mean,
You're
Rob,
lucky
we'll
if you
attach.
get to shoot with him.
Yeah, we'll attach his Instagram. You guys follow him. He's really, really good. But we literally, like, I was running like a madman. You were running like craziness. I think you just grabbed a whole bunch of shoes, a whole bunch of outfits. You grabbed some really sexy stuff, some lingerie. You grabbed some freaking pants and some red pants and all your sexy bougie shit. And I grabbed like a mafia gangster running suit, like a jogging suit, some jeans, some T-shirts, a suit.
A little bowling shirt.
We had a bowling shirt, yeah.
You had a nice black suit, too.
We grabbed a couple different things. She grabbed a couple different things. And we went and did this photo shoot. And
I'd like to add, too, is you never asked me to bring anything like I did. I threw that in as a surprise because I've been wanting to do a boudoir shoot with you for, always. Yeah. And we still haven't done that. So I'm like, I'm going to like slip in a little bit of, I'm going to slip it in.
Which, dude, there's never going to be and never has been a complaint for me if you want to wear less clothes, right? If it involves Saxony taking off her clothes, I'm in. Like, doesn't matter,
I think most men would agree with
their partners. And it was cool because for a number of different reasons. Number one, and this is actually a really powerful takeaway, and I kind of set this up the way that I did with social media. Understand, like we're not setting out to be these influencers. I didn't wake up one day and go, I want to be this social influencer. I want to have millions of people following me and all this other bullshit, right? I just started sharing my life, and it became more and more and more therapeutic for me, and it was really cool. And I don't just share parts of my life. I don't share the good parts. I share everything. Yeah. And I think that's why people really are attracted to Lions Not Sheep, to me, to you, to our messages. You talk about your, having an eating disorder. You talk about depression. I talk about depression. You talk about past marriage. You talk about, the fears and,
blending families,
the sensuality and the sexuality and feeling comfortable with your body, but celebrating your body. And so, we're having this photo shoot for me. Number one was for us, right? And guys, I would highly recommend going and getting a photographer. And there's a lot of people that, well, dude, I don't have the money or this, that. Great, create a trade. Do something. Great, you're a window washer. Go to the photographer and say, hey, man, I'll wash the windows of your studio. Give me an hour. Let's trade an hour. You know what I mean? There's a million different ways to skin this cat, friends. And if you really want to do this, it's not difficult to do it. Like, be thoughtful, be proactive. But I was really excited about this because, number one, we're just extra. We're both extra. And I share that because the pictures that we took, they're fucking rad. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think there's anybody listening to this that wakes up in the morning and is like, I don't want to look sexy. I don't want to look good. I just want to be a lowly housewife and a freaking fat slob of a man. I don't think anybody wakes up that way. I don't think anybody truly deep down is like, I don't want to be sexy. I don't want to look good. I don't want to be a star. And I share that because it's like, there's so many people that are living in this world of like this one-dimensional reality. Yeah. And I would have you guys consider for a second that you can literally be anything you want to fucking be. You can do anything you want to fucking do. You can. Now, the world will judge the fuck out of you. The world will say this, the world will say that, the world will tell you this, the world will tell you that. It's guaranteed. But the reality is, if I want to be a fucking cowboy one day, I'm going to be a fucking cowboy one day. And if I want to put on an amazingly fucking tailored suit and put on $400 cologne and go eat a $200 tomahawk steak with fucking Gucci loafers on, I'm going to fucking do that too.
Did you get yourself some Gucci loafers?
One day when I'm driving my pickup truck, I'm going to drive my pickup truck and then I'm going to get in my Lamborghini. And I don't say this with arrogance. I say this because there are so many people that are so fucking afraid to live. Yeah. There are so many of you listening to me right now, listening to us, who avoid the sexual, sensual connection in life. You know what I'm saying? Like that you guys avoid being something that you're not, exploring things that you haven't explored, like going into worlds that are uncomfortable. Like we're not models. We don't model professionally. I've never gotten a paycheck for being a model. Now, I do model my own apparel and I make money selling it, but neither of us are signed by some agency that get paid by magazines to come do photo shoots. Right. And so there's that thought process in your mind where like, okay, well, who are we to go do this? And this is weird. And anybody who's listening to me right now who's like some blue collar Joe who works for the telephone company, who works on power lines all day long, you're like, what the fuck am I going to do? Like, I'm not that guy. Like, I'm not James Bond. Fuck you, man. Fuck you. Be James Bond for a minute. You want to know something? Like, deep down, you want to be fucking James Bond. Mm-hmm. Go get yourself a fucking nice haircut. Go down to Nordy's and get yourself a fucking suit. Yeah. You go spend $500 on work boots. Go spend $500 on a fucking dope-ass black suit. Right. Go get yourself a pair of fucking loafers from the Nordstrom rack. They're 60, 70, 80 bucks, right? Yep. There's no man listening to this that wouldn't deep down in their heart and their soul love the idea of being James Bond for a minute. Sure. Looking fly as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Cleaned up, dapper as fuck with a hot ass chick on his fucking arm. There isn't a man listening to me that wouldn't want that. And there isn't a woman who doesn't want her man to look like James fucking Bond for a couple minutes.
That's what's fun about photo shoots is you can make it a fantasy. Whatever. I mean, we're doing a Viking photo shoot. Talk about fantasy. Like, why? Because we think it's fun.
We can.
We do it because we want to.
Because it's fucking rad. Because in our home, we have these huge blown up pictures of us that look fucking cool. Like, let me break it down really simple.
And of our family.
If you don't follow me or Saxony on Instagram, go look at my Instagram and go look at her Instagram. Go look at just a few of the pictures that we've shared from our photo shoot. Yeah. They're they're hot as shit. They're good looking pictures. They're awesome. You would think that we're models for some fucking magazine, right? I felt good about it.
Yeah, I felt great. Here's what too is that lingerie right there that I'm wearing. I paid $20 for on Amazon.
We'll put a link to that shit too, ladies.
I had a bunch of girls ask me. I'm like, I don't even think it was $20. I think it was like $17.
Yeah.
And I have a whole bunch of colors. Why? Why not?
Yeah.
You know, it's a very, very, very small investment.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun.
It was a fucking riot, man.
Yeah.
We're changing outfit. I almost said costumes. We're changing outfits. I brought us a couple cigars. I brought a couple guns. We had some sexy shit with you in lingerie, holding a scar, me holding a friggin' AR-15. I'm looking dapper with the freaking black suit. I'm blowing smoke up in the air. You look fly as shit with the white dress and the black dress and the whole thing, right? We had a really, really good time. Number one, it was very intimate between the two of us. Right? It was really cool. It's very sensual. It's very sexy. Like I don't know how to pose like a model. So that's why I love Rob, because Rob sets me up. He's like, Rob, do this, do that. Yeah, he has you tweaking and twisting and turning and sticking your ass out here and your boobs out here and your arms look good here. And it's very, very sexual. It's very sensual. It's very connecting between the two of us.
What I love too is when we were done, you continued to say over and over and over, like, wow, like you just really like,
you just get after it.
You just got after it.
There was no reservation with you,
girl.
Really... There's no reservation.
It was rad, because I mean, I know that you know that about me, but it was like you were very taken back by that.
No, I wasn't taken back.
No, in
I
a
just
positive way.
I love that you were, because, you know, I know that you used to model and do your pinup shit and whatever when you were younger, but like, what's cool to me about our relationship is that we're both in. Like, we don't have any fears around sexuality. We don't have any fears around, you know, taking our shirts off and, you know, looking hot, because this is kind of the second part of this conversation that I want to talk about. But like, to kind of focus on the photo shoot, like, I really, really, really love doing things that connect us. And this connected us, right? But it not only connected us in that moment, and what were we there, 2 hours, 3 hours? Rob's a great friend, so he blocked off the whole evening, and we had some freaking cocktails, and I was smoking cigars, and it was just a grand old fucking time. And there was a lot of the time where Sax was out there taking pictures. She's on the box and on the couch and on the thing and looking fly as fucking. And I'm like, I'm watching. I'm sitting there smoking a cigar, drinking a freaking whiskey, watching my sexy ass wife taking pictures. I mean, how did you feel in that moment? Did you feel sexy?
I mean, that's what I was just going to talk about. So I'm a big fan of boudoir. It doesn't, and I think it's great to do as a couple, but I'm a huge fan of women doing it in general, like really celebrating themselves. And I'm not saying you need to do it and you need to post it on social media.
Sure.
A few years back, I had a birthday party where I had a boudoir birthday, and I invited a bunch of my girlfriends and my mom even, and I rented this beautiful hotel room and had this amazing photographer friend of mine, and I let the women, like, they could be as reserved or as open as they wanted with this, and my only ask of them was that they picked their favorite photo and they framed it and hung it in their closet. That way, when they could see that picture on a daily basis, they remembered what a gorgeous goddess they were.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest thing, is do it for yourself. If you care to share it, awesome. But doing it with your partner is so much fun. There's so many good, positive things about this to me, in my opinion.
Well, and if you're listening to this or watching this right now, you hear Sax, like, she gets excited about it.
I love this.
Turned on by it and ramped up by it, which, if you think about it, fellas, that's the game that we're playing. We're wanting to do things. We're trying to do things. We're attempting to do things that really turn our woman on. And I'm not just talking about freaking getting you wet and like we're trying to have sex. I'm talking about like connection and real turn on, like very much turning ourselves on to a place where like we're experiencing something that's a little bit new. It's a little bit edgy, but at the same time, it's you and I going into this space. Yeah. And I like the photography. I like the photo shoot for a reason. And there's a reason that we wanted to do an episode on this, because the second part of this conversation is going to light some people up. You know, the thing that's cool about the photo shoot, and I look at some of these pictures and I'm like, oh, I wish I'd have done this or this. I mean, I had fucking the hat on and the zipper halfway down on this track suit, and it was ridiculous, but it was so fucking fun.
It was just fun.
And you look at the pictures, and some people are like, you look like some Russian mafia guy, and you look like this, and you look like a total tool, and you look like whatever. I had fun.
Yeah.
Like, I had fun doing it. I look at these pictures, and I laugh.
Yeah.
I show them to my kids, and they laugh, right? Yeah. And that's what I want people to understand, especially fellas. Like, what we're doing is trying to have these moments. We're trying to build moments of connection.
Yeah.
And to be able to go and to open this opportunity up for your wife to feel sexy.
Yeah.
To connect with you there in a way where you're taking a literal permanent image. You're creating art. We're creating our own art.
Yeah.
That we like, that we smile at, that we chuckle at, that we think is fucking hot, that we think is whatever, that will literally be blown up in our home, that we'll look at and we'll remember those moments. Like, that's the game that we're playing, is stringing together as many of these moments as we can to connect.
For sure.
And I think the photo shoot idea is really, really cool because it opens you up to being potentially uncomfortable. And what I'm getting at is, like, a lot of you blue collar guys listening to me right now. I mean, shit, I got a John Deere tractor. I got fucking boots. I got Carhartts. Like, yeah, I also got suits, and I got freaking nice Jordans and shit like that. Like, we can go tit for tat, fellas, of like who's more redneck and who's more in the fucking trenches and who's got more dirt under their fucking, who's got more dirt under their fingernails. Yeah. We can do all that bullshit.
My favorite suit you own was on clearance at JCPenney.
Oh, that was the one we got married.
It was like $100.
It was a fucking $100.
So
you know,
we're like a low
this
budget
ain't.
fun
I promise you. Like, I've done the $2,000-$3,000 suit game. And the suit that I was wearing in these pictures, this black suit, was $100
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like $97 from, I think, Burlington or some shit like that. But I make it look good.
It's confidence. It's
confidence. And I say this because it doesn't matter where you are, who you are. This is number one of the reasons that we're constantly talking about core 4 with Lions on Sheep and looking good, getting your body right? Because I don't want to spend 6 months, okay, I got this photo shoot coming up. I want to be able to know that, like, I'm in good enough shape where I can freaking head down to the local photographer, take off my shirt, snap a couple pictures with my wife, and wham, we got some cool shit, right? But I really emphasize this in a way to help people understand that it doesn't matter who you are or where you are. You should want to look sexy.
Yeah.
And I promise you, fellas, I don't care how blue collar your shit is, how white collar your shit is. There is not one woman out there that doesn't want to look sexy with her husband.
Right.
There's not one woman out there, and it might not be this or that. You might have a different fantasy than us, a different taste than us, and that's totally cool.
Whatever.
But the reality is, like, fellas, like, stepping into a place of creating this environment where you can look sexy with your wife, where you can get dapper, where you can dress your ass up a little bit. I promise you, it will do something for your relationship that not very many other things can do. It will open you guys up, and you will have images like we have that, number one, are really, really cool. Number two, are very, very, very much moments of memory. Like, we love that. We spent 2 weeks going through and looking at photography. We would lay in bed at night. And this is all of, like, the leading up to the photo shoot, the photo session. We'd take screenshots. What about this? What about this? We'd go to all of these photography websites and all these marriage websites and wedding websites and Instagram pages and what about this? What about this? And we'd send them to Rob and say, we want to do this. We want to look like this. You know, there's something really connected in that, number one. And number two, you should all want to feel special and you should all want to look special.
Right.
And I'm not saying that in, like, some cheesy fucking way. But fellas, like, grab your woman by the arm, grab her by the hand, and, like, show up and be sexy, man.
Yeah.
Like, take some really cool pictures that would not otherwise be who you are or what you are. Right. Play that role for a minute. You want to be a cowboy, be a cowboy. You want to be a freaking Johnny Badass with your gold chains, be Johnny Badass with your gold chains. But I promise you, like, so long as you listen to the outside world, who do you think you are? Like, you know, what are you doing? These are stupid, whatever. You're never going to do it.
Yeah.
But for you and I to do it, like, it to me, it was magic. To me, it was fucking. It was really fun. It was really connecting.
Right.
Anything else you want to say on that?
Yeah, and
before we kind of shift gears.
I love this kind of photography too, like a very sensual, intimate type of thing for women in general, because, like, I've always been open sexually. I've always been very. I've shared this before. I didn't grow up with a lot of conditions around.
Right.
You know, how to not be. It was just, I was very embraced to be who I was naturally meant to be. However, I did experience a lot of body shame in my life. You know, I had an eating disorder for 17 years and I lacked a lot of confidence physically with my body, right? And so now it's like, I'm proud. I'm almost 40 years old. I've had, multiple children come out of my body. I have stretch marks. I have all of the whatever excuses. And the point is it's so beautiful when you get yourself to this experience. Mm-hmm. It will change the way you feel about yourself when you get those photos back. I have never met a woman that's like, oh, these are terrible. I will never. I've never met one, including my mom. It's like you all of a sudden see yourself in a different lens. You're like, wow. And it's like, even if it sparks this little tiny something in you, even if it's just tiny, it's still something. Yeah. And it's really beautiful to just have that reflection of yourself and realize, like, especially like stay-at-home moms, like there's very little glamour in that. Right. And to get to experience that and just hold that memory, it's like, it's a beautiful thing. And I highly encourage you women to please give yourself that gift, even if it's just for you and yourself, and that's it. Yeah. Or make a calendar out of it for your husband, whatever.
See, you can make it for you. You can make it for yourself, but you and I don't have a lot of shame around
some of us just posted on Instagram.
You don't have any shame about wearing lingerie, and I don't have any shame around you wearing lingerie, and you don't have any shame around me taking my shirt off, and I don't have any shame around me taking my shirt off. And this is really kind of the second part of this conversation, which I think is very, very, very important. And it might rub people the wrong way, but I don't really give a shit, because this is something that I'm very, very, very much, I believe you and I are kind of sharing a different conversation than what a lot of people are used to, right? When I shared this picture, and I don't know, maybe we can put it up here. Like here, I'm pointing to the middle of the screen. If you're watching this, this is the picture, right? But if you don't know which one I'm talking about, just go to my Instagram, and there's a picture of me in my red friggin' tracksuit with Saxony in this amazingly, ridiculously hot lingerie, and we're sitting on a couch, and her legs are stretched over me, and her legs look amazing, and it's just fucking hot as shit. Now, I posted this picture, and I love it. It's so ridiculous, but it's so cool. Like, I'm in this red tracksuit. I got a cigar in one hand. My wife is just looking smoking hot. I'm looking at her. She's looking at the camera. It's not normal. It's not how we would lay on the couch to watch TV.
What are you talking about?
But it's just fucking hot. It's just a picture that you look at. I look at it and I'm like, fuck yeah, man. Like, hell yeah. You know what I mean? What am I wearing? I don't even know. I got Jordans. I got Lions of Sheep socks on. I got a red jumpsuit. I look like I'm Colin Farrell. I bought this thing for like $10 on Amazon.
We're so classy.
And I got it half unzipped. It got some chest hair hanging out, and the tattoo hanging out, and the chain hanging out. And here's Saxony just looking like a fucking smoke show, because she is.
Thanks, babe.
And I posted this on Instagram, and I posted it on Facebook. And naturally, it got a lot of attention. And not because it's like...
It's very interesting, too, why it did.
It's very interesting.
We discussed this.
There's a ton of different reasons that it got engagement and got people. And naturally, it's because it's different. Right. Number one, it's different.
Yeah.
Number one, it's just different, right? It's not the dog. It's not dinner. It's not the new car. It's not the win for the day. It's not just the selfie at the kids' soccer practice. It's like, holy shit, here's Saxony Whalen in her lingerie, which, by the way, is actually covers more of her body than what she wears on the boat in the summertime with a bikini. But let's leave that for a different conversation, right? Here's Saxony looking hot as shit. Here's Sean, who's this business guy and this dad and this like dude who's just leading this Lions Not Sheep thing, wearing this ridiculous fucking red jumpsuit, some Jordan 4s, and it's a cigar. Like, what is this? It doesn't make any sense. And naturally, when you post something like that and it doesn't make any sense to people, like, what's the first thing they do? We fight what we fear, and we fear what we don't really understand. And what's fascinating is that there were two different conversations that came into this. Number one, radical support. Just, you guys fucking shine. Go, keep going. Like, Sax is hot as shit. And I'm like, yes, she is. Men and women both talking about how unbelievably sexy you are. I'm liking the shit out of that.
And the reason that I love that is it's like, I hope that that sparks and encourages other couples to do this. Yeah. Like, we don't care. Like, we don't really... It doesn't really matter to us, like, what you think.
Right.
But it's rad when we do something, because we don't put it on social media to make anything happen. We just do it because that's what we like to do. However,
because it's part of what we're doing.
Because that's just what we do.
We share almost everything that, I mean, besides R-rated
but
shit.
It's super dope.
We share pretty much everything.
Right. It's super dope to see couples be like, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
That's so rad. You've inspired me. Like, cool. Like, go do cool shit.
I had multiple guys message me saying that they had set up a photo shoot, which I thought was freaking cool, right?
Yeah.
The support is awesome. We know what it's going to do. We're both smart too.
Yeah.
We also understand the game. We understand that attention is the game, and sharing a picture like this that doesn't make sense, that's out of the norm, it's not at a kid's soccer practice or at a hockey game, is going to get people, whoa, what the hell is this, right? It's going to get that. And that's truly, if you've listened to me or to Saxony or you've followed Lions Not Sheep at all, the game that we're playing is attention. And I'm talking about from life to business to the Sean and Sax show. Like we want the Sean and Sax show to be seen. We want more people to see it. We want it to grow. We want our businesses to grow. I don't care if you own a freaking hot dog stand. You want to sell more hot dogs. You want more people buying your hot dogs. Yeah. If you own a little boutique, you want more people coming in and buying your shit. If you own an insurance company, you want more people walking through the door calling you, buying insurance. It doesn't matter what you do in life. The game is expansion. The game is growing. The game is attention. It's getting people's attention to ultimately do business with you, to be part of your tribe or whatever it is. This is what we do. We both understand this. You do this with your earrings.
Yeah.
You're unbelievably skilled in making these feather earrings. Now, if no one knew about them and you launched these earrings, you would never sell them. So what do? You take great pictures and hot pictures and you look smoking fucking hot. Everybody's going, holy shit, I want to look like Sax. Sax is hot. I want the earrings. I'm going to buy the earrings. The game is attention. Look, I don't care what anybody says. Like, if you don't believe me, go look at how much Ford Motor Company spends marketing per year. $2.7 billion domestically just in America to get your attention to buy a fucking car. Yeah. So from a marketing perspective and attention perspective, we understand that when we post these things, when I post a picture of my wife on the beach and an amazing picture of her ass, it's going to get attention, right? Now, there's a lot of support for that. There's a lot of support for what we're doing and how we're living our life. On the flip side, there's also a lot of criticism. And one of the biggest things that came from this picture specifically was the criticism around me honoring my wife. Yeah. This is something I wanted to get into, and I don't know how far we in, and hopefully everybody's still listening. But a lot of feedback came from people talking about how I'm dishonoring my wife. Why would I share her? That's supposed to be secret and sacred.
Yeah.
Like, this picture is sacred. Like, her body is sacred. Like, the I should be protecting and covering. And why would I put this image out there for other men to look at? Why would I allow this to happen so that other men could look at this picture and have fantasies of my wife? Tons of these comments came in. And it's a fascinating thing because you and I don't see it that way.
Yeah.
You and I honor the shit out of the work that we do to become the people that we become.
Right.
Like, I look at your body and I know how hard you work on your body. And I know, and this is something not very many people want to talk about, but we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Deep down, we all want to be sexy. Deep down, we all want to know that someone can look at us and go, wow, you're attractive. And I don't give a shit who you are. You can talk about your rubbish and bullshit. Oh, it's all about the soul, and no, it doesn't matter. Bullshit. Nobody walks into a bar and says, that person's ugly, I'm going to go talk to them because their soul looks fucking attractive. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. We are without question like attracted to people as creatures. That's who we are in our DNA.
Well, and also like the beauty of the inside. If you truly love yourself, you're going to love your body. This is your vessel for this journey. Like you do honor it.
We want that though. I truly believe.
But with honor though, as people, I feel like misinterpret what honoring their body is.
Right.
Like, I honor my body tremendously because I haven't in the past. And I very much know what not honoring it is. But it's interesting because some people look at honoring is like covering and not, quote unquote, objectifying. But they'll eat chicken nuggets every dinner from McDonald's and they're on heart medicine and blood pressure medicine and whatever. And it's like, are you honoring your body more than I'm honoring my body?
Right.
Like,
and
meh.
The internal, and we could talk about the internal representation, being exemplified on the outside. I love who the fuck I am, and I know you do too.
Yeah.
I know that you love who you are inside, and I know that translates to I love my body. I mean, make no mistake, when you look good, you feel good, man.
Yeah.
When you get up in the morning, when we get up in the morning, we sleep naked. And when you get up in the morning, like, I can't not stare at you as you walk by me because you're so fucking hot. And when I get up in the morning and I walk into the bathroom and I see a six-pack and I'm standing there naked, I feel good about myself. Yeah. I feel really good about myself. Now, if I haven't seen my dick in 6 years because my gut hangs over my dick, I don't know that you would literally wake up and go, you know what, you're a rock star. Great job, buddy. And I don't care how people feel about this. This is going to rub you the wrong way. And the only people that's going to rub the wrong way are the dudes who haven't seen their dick in 6 years because their gut hangs over. Because I guarantee you, anybody who's in shape, anybody who celebrates and honors their body is saying A fucking men right now to what we're talking about. Yeah. And this is my point. So many people were shitting on me for sharing my wife. Now, I'm not talking sharing in some disgusting, perverted way that a lot of your minds fucking go into.
Yeah, I
go
don't
fuck
have an
yourself,
OnlyFans account.
Okay? But I celebrate and I honor and I share in the love that she has for herself. Mm-hmm. You've worked hard to build your body. Mm-hmm. Like, no, babe, cover that up. I want you to go to the beach and fucking celebrate your six-pack. I want to look at you walking up and down the stairs, walking on the sand and go, fuck, that's my woman. Look at what she built. Like, I honor the fuck that you built that. Yeah. You know what I mean? I know what it took. I know what it takes to get there. And I think the idea that me dishonoring my wife by honoring what you've done is so ass backwards. And so many people have this thing wrong. Now, I don't walk around sharing pictures of my wife's vagina and her nipples, and I like to have my OnlyFans account. And the whole, she literally doesn't care.
I think but freeing the nipple makes a lot of sense to me. Why do you guys get to hang them out and I have to freaking put pasties on?
Let's not go down that path,
God, here we go.
Sax literally would. She's a different character. She's a different animal. But I want people to understand this. Look, man, if you're a guy and your wife works out and she's had children. My wife has had 2 children come out of her body. Yeah. And she works really fucking hard for her six-pack. And I celebrate that six-pack. I don't hide that six-pack. I don't hide that and go, oh, that's only for me, babe. Don't ever fucking celebrate that. Bullshit. I want you to celebrate that. Yeah. I want you to feel sexy. I want these pictures to, like, exemplify what you feel inside, and I want to celebrate that.
You want to celebrate anything that is a win that I've worked hard for. Correct. It doesn't matter if it's you're not just celebrating. Like, we're not just celebrating the way we look, because that's ridiculous. Like, we celebrate that and our wins in business and our wins in family and our wins across the board. It's like, you should, whoever thought about compartmentalizing, like, you can celebrate this, but you can't celebrate this. And you can talk about this, but you must keep this part hidden. Like, I don't understand these rules. And this is where I also don't fit in.
This is why you don't fit in, and neither do I. And this is why we're having this conversation, because I know that there's a lot of you that listen to this podcast and you like Saxony and you like what we do and you like what we say. And there's some of you that think we're a little bit out there, and that's totally fine. Okay. Like, we're not for everybody. Yeah. But I really wanted this to be a conversation that was heard by people, because I understand what it's like to live in a world where I have 2 choices when I post something on social media. Mm-hmm. I do it because I'm trying to appease the masses and I want to play the easy route, or I want to celebrate my life. Mm-hmm. And my life includes being married to a drop-dead, sexy-ass woman. Thanks. And the reality is, like, I want to celebrate that and show that. And your work shows up in these stunning pictures. Yeah. And I want guys to understand, like, okay, let's prove this point for a second. This isn't set up. There's no notes, as anybody can see. So I haven't asked you these questions, right? Okay. How does it feel when I share a photo of your body looking ripped, looking jacked, looking sexy as fuck? How does it, I want you to explain how you feel when I put that into my universe, put it out to my social media in an aspect of honor and celebration and love.
I feel celebrated. I feel appreciated. I feel recognized for my hard work. I feel it is a form of love. I feel, I don't know. It's like it feels great to have any human being wants their partner to recognize them in being special and beautiful. It doesn't matter if you're a male or female. You like when I tell you you're beautiful and you're cute.
I don't know that very many people, maybe they do. I wanted to ask that question because, like, I know how I feel.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty certain, without making any assumptions, that you feel good when you see your husband celebrating you and I looking good. When you see your husband celebrating that, fuck the masses. Fuck what everybody else says. Fuck the, oh my God, I can't believe you do that. If you're a Christian, how could you do that as a Christian?
Yeah, that's where
how could you why would you, how dare you put that image out there for other men to objectify? Let me, hang on. No. Let me say something really quick. I don't give a fuck what other men think. I don't give a fuck what other men objectify. I don't give a fuck what another man thinks. Yeah. I don't give a fuck what another man says about this picture. I don't post this for other men and other women. I post this because for you and I, this is our truth and our reality. And if that means that you go off and think something weird, I don't give a shit. Yeah. I have zero attachment to that. It's not a thought in my mind when I post something like this. Yeah. I post my woman and my queen and my life because this is my life. This is what we have built. This is what we celebrate. And I will stand by that until the day I die. The day that I post something because I'm looking for this or I'm worried about what the Christians might say, I'm done with social media. I would be done, period.
Can you imagine making the decisions for your life based on what is going to happen outside of you, externally?
Right.
Like you would live in a prison of fear and restriction.
Which is where most people live. It's where most people fucking live. Most people listening to this, I don't mean any disrespect.
That would be like me, I'm not going to wear this outfit because I do not want to be objectified.
Right.
Like that has nothing to do with me. Yep. Like what you do with what you see in the world has nothing to do with me. I'm not going to dim my light or not fucking go as extras. I usually like to, like, I don't care. Like, I will wear and represent myself to the full capacity that makes me happy. Right. I literally don't care.
By the way, look at your biceps. Your biceps look fucking jacked, babe.
Sorry, you lost me. Yeah. It's kind of like with the free the nipple, okay? So when I was, this is a little off topic, but when I was nursing my kids, because I'm very, very full, I'm in it when I'm mom. Like, I nursed my little guy for 18 months. And I had a family member that kind of shamed me for pulling my boob out and nursing my child. And this person was very, very religious. And they sat me down and he, lectured me around this is a sexual thing. It's making him uncomfortable. And I just said that you can wait on the front porch and not ever come in then when I'm feeding my baby. Because if you choose to objectify something and make it sexual, that has nothing to do with me. Right. I'm doing something extremely natural, feeding a baby, like, that's your problem.
Right.
Like
that's what I feel around when I share stuff like this. I don't care. I don't care what makes women uncomfortable or men uncomfortable or what men think about this deal or that deal. Like I don't. If I live my life there, I mean, I'm dead. I might as well just roll over and die. And you and I are not there at all. Like not even remotely close. And that's why I think us having this conversation is so important. What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say, and I'm naturally rebellious. I was born that way. More than anything, and I had multiple conversations about this with people on my Instagram about the objectifying, not objectifying, talking about bringing God into it and trying to put me in a box that I need to behave and be a certain way according to their interpretation of God.
Right.
And that kind of infuriates me because there's a lot of people in the world that truly live by this fear of judgment because of, some Bible thumping person. And I have a very, very, very close relationship with God. And very close. So to argue with me about what my God is approving of my life is absurd.
It's a moot point.
You will never convince me of what my God.
Right.
But this is what makes me feel bad is there's a lot of people that live in this shame. They're scared to shine. Mm-hmm. They're scared to be who they truly want to be because there are so many people that are so quick to shame and judge them and put them in a box according to their interpretations of what is right and wrong and what is good and bad. And that's wrong. Like I am completely against that.
Right. Well, one of the things that you said that we've talked about 1,000 times with Lines of Sheep. It doesn't matter what you do, what you say, what you wear, where you go, what you post. You're going to be judged. Mm-hmm. you're going to fucking be judged.
Yeah.
So you and I just kind of leapfrog the whole, well, what do you think to, we don't give a shit,
I don't
right?
care.
Now, like, I want to make this point because there's a lot of scarcity in relationships, and whether it be because of past trauma, whether it be because of past relationships, whatever, you know, I'm going to speak to the men right now on this masculine point, if you will. There's a lot of this idea that, like, you know, we walk into a room, we walk into a banquet, we walk in someplace. I know that we bring in an energy where people are looking at us. Like, I want to live a life and I want to be married to a woman who, which I am, has an energy about her and a confidence with her that she walks into the room and walks in as the queen. Now, I don't know if very many people understand this, but when we walk into a room and all the dudes are looking at you, I'm not like, yo, what the fuck you looking at? That's little boy shit. That's little peasant shit. That's little kid shit. We walk into a room and all the chicks are looking at you and the dudes are looking at you. I'm like, yeah, I don't blame you for looking. Look how fucking hot she is. But
not even just hot. It's like, it is an energy. And we roll with people like this.
And it's an energy and it's a confidence. Yeah. And I share that because this is the same thing. And if you're struggling with this, understand something. Like, fellas especially, if you're going out and you go out with your woman and dudes are looking and whatever, and you act like a little boy, like, don't look at my woman, isn't that the entire fucking point? Is that you're building a life, you're building a body and an image and an energy that actually is attractive to people. I mean, it's the old Bible verse. You don't take a candle and you put it under the bushel, you put it on the top of the hill. You take the candle, literally put it on the top of the hill for the whole world to see. Like, we're taking our life, our relationship, our conversations, and literally putting it on top of the hill. How we are, our bodies, our intimacy on top of the hill to shine that light. And yeah, that makes a lot of people uncomfortable. But I'd have you consider for a second, fellas, like, there's nothing more empowering, there's nothing more sexy to me than walking into a room and watching people look at my wife and be like, hell yeah. Like, that energy is special to me because I know that that's not given. This is the point I wanted to make. That's been built.
Yeah.
Like, that's not just a given. That's not a gimme where you know what I mean? You automatically have the body, you automatically have the energy, you automatically have the business, you automatically have the relationship. We work fucking hard for where we are. Like, we work really, really, really hard to have the life that we have, to have the bodies that we have, to have the businesses that we have, to have the intimacy that we have, to have the vulnerability.
We do work really hard.
To have the vulnerability that we do. And so I celebrate that. And that's what coming back to this picture, I celebrate what we've built. I celebrate our vulnerability. I celebrate your body. I celebrate your attractiveness. I celebrate our energy. This has fuck you energy in this picture. Because that's really where we are. And we've had to build that shit. And so take it as a challenge. Take it as a thought. Take it for whatever you will. Like, it's these moments. It's in these images. It's in this experience that I think continues to build you and I. And it deepens our energy. It deepens our confidence and deepens our sensuality and our sexuality.
Yeah. I would really, if you guys find yourselves being, I hate to use the word triggered, but negative, you're reacting negatively to this type of thing when you see it happening, question why. Like, why do you think you're having a negative reaction? Because it's really not about that external thing. It's something to do with you, because I have beautiful girlfriends and they celebrate themselves, and there's couples that we have in our space, and they celebrate themselves, and I have no scarcity around that. Like, these are our friends. Like, I love the fact, and I recognize, and I see these women especially. I don't really pay attention to dudes because I'm all about, like, I'm a big I'm a big queen supporter, and it literally lights me up when I see another woman that's willing to go out there and be seen and show herself in every way, not just sexually. It's like, I'm the first one clapping. I love that. And I don't some of these girls are a decade younger than me, or women, like girls. It's, and if I sat and tried to compare myself or whatever, it's like, no, they are them and I am me, and I celebrate them. I love it. I'm proud of them.
And that's what I think is really cool about, this picture for me. There's so many levels to it. There's so many really cool like experiences that I've had in sharing this, because it's hard for me. It's vulnerable for me. It's like, you know, even running around in a red tracksuit, it's like, what is this? Like, is this funny? Are you supposed to be, you know, gangster? And it's like, it doesn't need to be defined. It doesn't need a definition.
Care.
We just do it, right?
Yeah.
And the more I feel like we do this, the more confidence we build. But I also realize too that us doing this allows other people to follow suit.
Permission.
And having these guys who message me going, yo, dude, we set up our photo shoot and whatever. I want to see people like this.
Yeah.
I want to see more pictures like this. I want my tribe, and we see stuff like this. Like Jeremy and Taryn, perfect example. Like they've gotten shredded over the last little bit. And Jeremy has, and Taryn's always been shredded, but like they were doing
Good job,
some really
Jeremy. Catching up to your
great
girl.
to pick your shit up, Jeremy, you fat bastard.
No,
but I mean he got shredded, and and he it's not like he was out of shape. He just decided to get shredded. And they did a great photo shoot, and it was super sexy. And we're looking at it, and we're like, "That's fucking hot,
love
man!"
You guys.
And we were cheering that and celebrating that. And I think this conversation could be taken 1,000 different ways, and will probably be talked about however. But like, I really want people to just understand that, you know, when you are really, really, really pushing yourself to explore yourself, to really understand who you are, and to go deeper, and not just be this one-dimensional person where we eat at the same restaurant every single time and we do the same thing over and over for date night. But when you really start to level up and explore yourself and say, this is kind of uncomfortable for me. This is kind of weird for me. Like, yeah, I'm a blue-collar guy, and I don't even own a suit, and I feel weird, and I got this guy, like, fluffing my hair and doing, like, putting on non-shiny makeup and shit like that. Like, it's odd, but that's what helps you expand. That's what helps you grow. It's those moments of being uncomfortable where you grow. And looking at these pictures, like even doing that for us, I think it ratcheted up another level of, you know, our own possibility. Like, holy shit, these are hot. Okay, what's next? How do we make these spicier? How do we make these hotter?
Yeah,
right?
It's just like the imagination, that imaginative energy when you're a kid that you have. It's like every kid play dress up to some degree. Here, like whatever that looked like. It is so fun, and it sparks that. I mean, it's kind of weird to relate childlike energy to like
it's true
posing that, but it's true. It's like it's playing dress up. Like you get to be whoever you want to be, and you could be a Viking, like whatever.
You want to make it biblical. I mean, what does the good book say? The good book says, "Become as a little child."
Yeah.
I mean, the Bible says, "Become as a little child." I'm a 44-year-old 10-year-old. Like, you're a 39-year-old 7-year-old.
For
like,
sure.
we love being little children. We love the exploration. We love these things, and
that's what makes us good in business too.
I agree.
We're like, let's do that.
I totally agree.
Oh, let's do that.
Totally agree. But I also realize too that it's actually, in my opinion, it's almost like a gift from God. By not honoring it and not celebrating it, it's almost like a slap in the face to God. God's given us these things. He's given us these bodies to celebrate. And I'm not just objectifying nakedness. I'm talking about He's given us these temples to celebrate. He's given us these businesses to celebrate. He's given us the opportunity and the blessing to be able to drive exotic cars. We don't leave them parked in the garage, and we're not embarrassed to show what we've got. Because this is a gift that we've worked for. This is something that we have proactively done, and these rewards that we get from God are to be celebrated. They're not to be put under the freaking bushel. They are to be put on the top of the hill and celebrated, including our sexiness, including our sensualness, including our love of life, including our love of each other, including our love of exploration. These are all things that are to be celebrated. And so I challenge you guys to those of you that have this idea that being sexy and showing the sexiness in front of the world is actually a gift. It's actually a very, very, very beautiful gift. And I believe the true essence of leadership is being able to look at where you are and understanding that the work that you've done is inspiring people to level up.
Right.
Like these pictures, I know, inspired way more people than offended. But understanding that, like, that is our call. It's our duty. And it's not like we have a duty to go take these pictures and shit like that. That's just really fun. Yeah. But it is our duty to celebrate where the fuck we are. It's our duty to celebrate the gifts that we've been given. It's our duty to celebrate each other. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to celebrate you and your wins and your achievements, and you celebrate me and my wins and my achievements and these levels that we keep working really fucking hard to get to.
Yeah.
You should celebrate that, including celebrating your sexiness, including celebrating a ripped freaking body.
Well, and there's a great spiritual power with sexual energy, and there's a lot of data on this. But when you are really tapped into your sexual and sensual energy, you are a master creator. It is a powerful force.
Preach.
And it's when you have that dimness, when you haven't like stepped into that or embraced that, or you've lost it or you've closed it away, there's a major difference in how you live your life.
Yep.
Like when you are fully aroused in life, you eat better food, you create better business, you're a better parent, you're a better friend, it's like you are fucking alive. You're in every color. Your life is not in black and white. And I am an avid advocate of this. So, like, there's no work. Shame will not work on me. I'm sorry. It just won't.
So final thought then. Bring us home with that. Talk about being, and you talk to the men, to the women, to everybody, about being fully aroused with that openness, because I agree with you. There is a direct correlation between your sex life and your bank account.
Yeah.
There is a direct correlation between how your body looks and your income. There is a direct correlation in your mental stamina, your mental capacity, your mental energy, and how you look on the outside.
And I don't even know, I agree with you. I don't even know if it's, like, I could be a single woman and I still radiated the same.
Right.
Like this is a me, myself, and I energy. Like being in that fully aroused state starts with you. It doesn't have anything to do with the partner in your life. So I wanted to asterisk that, like, because if you're single, like you very much
we
can
just
embody
exemplify
this.
it now.
Yes.
That's what we're doing. We're pouring gas on each other's fire because we both believe that.
Correct.
And we both understand that.
Mm-hmm. So my biggest thing for all of you listening is you have my absolute permission to shine and be fully embodied and fully aroused and really like love everything that you've got. Like just be that. Now, there's different extremes to that. I'm not here to tell you where that extreme is. Like there's certain women that I have in my space that have OnlyFans accounts. That's too much for me. Like, believe it or not, I do have a limit. That's okay. But the women that feel called to that and comfortable with that, I have no, like, whatever, has nothing to do with me. But it's in your own skin, in your own day, in your own, whatever feels good to you, like, embrace that.
Right.
Because people will hate on you. They will judge you. They will have something to say no matter what you do.
Right.
So you might as well do what feels greatest in your heart and truest to you.
Yeah.
And I have a challenge. I would love and encourage you all, obviously, to go do a photo shoot. If it means by yourself, if it means with your partner, please do it soon, because I want you guys to tag me on Instagram with your pictures if you feel so inclined to post them share them with the world. And you can, of course, tag Sean. I'm sure he'd love and appreciate that too. Okay. I just want to see them. I want to be... I just want to celebrate.
The challenge is go do it, man.
Celebrate whatever.
Go do it.
Even if it's you're in a suit and your gal is in a beautiful dress, do it. Like, that's awesome to me. Like, I want to celebrate you and I want to applaud you. So
I love that challenge, and I think it's a great challenge, and I think everybody should go do it. Look, we're not here to tell you what the perfect relationship is, because we don't have the perfect relationship, but maybe we do have the perfect relationship for us. We just know it works for us.
Yeah.
And that's what we are committed to advocating for, committed to talking about, is like what works for us and what has helped us get where we are. Like, there's a lot of people that have a lot more money than us. There's a lot of people that have more defined abs than me and you. It is what it is.
They probably don't eat gummy bears.
Yeah, we eat gummy bears like non-fucking stop. It's a problem. That's our next episode, talking about our addictions. But
what are your vices? Gummy bears.
Boxes and boxes of them. But the truth is, like, look, I really feel like we're we're living a really great life. For us, like
Sure.
where I've been I feel like I'm very similar to a lot of men, and you're similar to a lot of women, right? Our stories, our backstories, like, all of that stuff. Like, there is an awakening happening right now, and I encourage people to pay attention to this. Like, there's a separation between where you are and what the norm is and where you want to be. Now, I'm not going to tell you where that is because it's up to you to figure it out, but my challenge to you is to start opening up some of these doors. Doing things that are uncomfortable, like going places and experiencing things that you don't know. That is literally how you and I continue to operate and how we continue to grow. People are watching our life going, you guys are great, whatever. This is literally what we're doing. And so it's like that challenge of saying, okay, I might be uncomfortable doing a photo shoot. Good. It was for us too, in a way. Like there were a couple things where it was like, okay, and maybe uncomfortable is not the right word, but it stretches you.
Yeah.
It makes you do things and puts you in places that you're not necessarily comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's what I want. Like I want that. And that's why I think our relationship is as fire as it is, because it stretches the shit out of us. And we asked for that. And when we find ourselves being stretched is when we're growing the most, but it's also when we're fighting it the most and the most angry at it. But, this is a really, really, really cool opportunity for all of you listening to really separate yourself from where you are now. Mm-hmm. Not so much from a different group of people, not so much looking at it going, okay, I'm going to separate myself from my family or my church, but going, like, I don't want to be the same dude I was yesterday. I don't want to have the same relationship that I did last year. Like, I want to learn new positions in sex. I want to find new restaurants. I want to explore new things. I want to do new things. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's, I think, what makes...
I want to wear all the sequins
you want to wear all of it.
At the same time.
Somehow, some way, we're going to have to find all of the fringe and all of the sequins for Saxony to wear. Now, to put in perspective, I'm also going to put a picture up here in this region of our closet and how I have about like a teeny sliver of our closet, and the entire up top shelf is her boots and her things, and just racks and racks and racks and racks and racks of clothes. And some people could say, well, that's unnecessary. That's whatever.
I'm a Leo.
You're extra. Hey, you're fucking extra. That's what you do. And I love it. And I appreciate it. And I think it's great. So
you do have a shoe wall.
I do have a shoe wall.
For the record.
You got a fucking shoe closet. I do have a shoe wall.
Wear all the color. Be as bold and bright and unapologetic as you so desire.
Yeah. Anything else you want to share on this?
No.
Did we cover it all?
I think we did. We did. Tag us.
Go to a photo shoot, man. Like, seriously, go find a photographer. Even if they suck, go find somebody that's in photo school. Just do a post and say, hey, I need a photographer. There's lots of photographers that are trying to learn.
You go to beauty school and get your hair done.
Yeah.
It's really...
we shared the process and everybody got mad. Well, you guys can do it because you have money or whatever. You want to get...
$17 lingerie. Hair from the hair school.
Yeah. Fellas, you want to get your wife's hair done. Literally, the girls and the guys at hair school that are in hair school will come do it for you. That's like literally what they're looking to do.
$10
but
when you go
now be smart and go, hey, we're going to do this photo shoot. We want you to come do our hair. We're going to tag you on social media. Everybody's looking for a shout out. Everybody's looking for more followers and more notoriety. Do that exchange. Like, hey, I'll shout you out on social media for doing the hair for my wife and the makeup and the whole thing. You can literally do this for next to nothing. It doesn't cost you very much money to do it.
Or, what you could do too, which is what I've done, is I got one photographer and I got a bunch of people and we did a session. So with the girls, I had, 10 girls and I had one photographer and we booked. They each got an allotted amount of time. Yeah. And then I paid for it all. But you could everyone could pitch in type of thing.
Lots of different ways to skin the cat. But
yes,
the game is expansion. The game is growth. The game is literally just continuing to expand as a couple, as individuals. And this photo shoot was really fun. It was really sexy. It was good for you and I. Yes. It was a great evening for you and I. And it ended up producing some really rad images that I love looking at. And that are the screensavers on my phone and my iPad and my computer and the whole thing. That. And it's great and it's awesome. Yes. So, anything else, babe?
If anybody wants another challenge, we're doing the Everest challenge.
No,
get your shit straight.
You're going to tell everybody, or we just want to give everybody the photo challenge?
Just climb 200 flights of stairs.
Saxony does 200 stairs a day, so 200 flights of stairs. So
we have a lot of challenges, but the photo challenge. Just stick with that one.
Stick with that. Go to a photo shoot. Fellas, book it.
Scratch out the
Ladies,
other one.
book it. Guys, get your hair done. Get your nails clean. Put on some cologne. Put on some fresh underwear. Take your wife out. Do a nice dinner. You know, you don't have to have 62 changes of clothes.
Nope.
Go get a couple hot pictures. Get them blown up. Put them over the mantle. Put them in your bedroom. Make it look sexy. You know what I mean? You won't regret doing it. I promise you that. And then we'll tag Rob in here. So Rob's info will be somewhere in the podcast here for you guys to find him.
Yep.
If you're in Utah. All right.
Beautiful. Okay. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for listening, guys. Go get sexy. Go take your pictures. Love you. See you
Love
next
you.
time.
Bye.
Bye.